So for these absolute value equations, I want you to keep that in the front of your mind. Absolute value means distance from 0. And to isolate a variable, things are going to work exactly the same. All right? So the first one we're going to look at is the absolute value of r plus 3 equals 5. Okay. So we're going to go slow, and we're really going to think through this, okay? So really, whatever r plus 3 is, it can be 5, right? Because what's the absolute value of 5? 5. But what else has an absolute value of 5? Negative 5. So r plus 3 could be two different things. Whatever's on the inside of this, don't even think r plus 3. Whatever's on the inside of these absolute values can be 5.
Or negative.
Or it can be negative 5, because the absolute value of either one of those things is 5. That was a lot of 5s, okay? So what I like to do, just to get organized, is I make like a little branch thing like this, saying there's two different things. And I know that r plus 3 equals 5, and r plus 3 also equals negative 5. So we're going to be rocking two answers here. Again, the reason this works is whatever r plus 3 equals here, the absolute value of that needs to equal 5. Well, the absolute value of 5 and negative 5 are both 5. That's why we have these two equations. So this is really important that everybody understands where we're at right here, because I have no worries about the one-stepper we're about to do. Does everybody understand why there's two different equations set up here?
Yes.
And I'm going to say it one more time. I saw some eyebrows. I can't read faces. I can see eyebrows still. Whatever is inside of here, right, the absolute value of this needs to equal 5. And there's two ways we get a 5 from an absolute value. An answer of 5, the absolute value of 5 is 5, or the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, right? So that's why I set up these two equations. Then I'm not worried one bit about these one-steppers are going to do. R is 2, R is negative 8. So I like to write that as R is 2, comma, negative 8. Both those answers. Okay? You guys, especially early on, you should be checking these, because there's a tad more going on here, right? A little more thinking. So let's slap a 2 in here. What's 2 plus 5 or 2 plus 3?
5.
And the absolute value of 5 is?
5.
Okay, let's slap the negative 8 in here. Negative 8 plus 3? Negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is? 5. So now we have one answer equations, we have all the answer equations, we have no answer equations, and now we have two answer equations, right?
What?
Just think about that. Think of all the different types of answers we have now to work with. Last year was just one answer, right? Man, we're really growing brains up in here. All right, so that's like the simplest one. Let's look at one for you to try on your own, I think. I think this group is ready. The absolute value of 5n needs to equal 20. So, what this means, guys, is I can have negative 5n equal what two things, John?
Negative 4 and 4.
No, that's n.
Negative 20 and 4.
Yeah, it can equal 20, or negative 5n can equal negative 20, because the absolute value of either one of those things is 20.
5.
So I'm dividing. I'm not worried about this part, guys. One-step algebra, I think. If you need help with that, we need to talk individually. All right? So I got a 4, and I've got a negative 4. Let's check it. Guess what? You made a mistake? That's good. Some people are going to make mistakes right now, some aren't. If you made it, you're better for it. Negative 5 times negative 4 is 20. The absolute value of 20 is?
20.
All right, negative 5 times 4 is? Negative 20. The absolute value of negative 20 is? 20. Awesome. All right. I'm going to skip this next one I was going to do and go right to some more challenging ones. That's the vibe I'm getting from y'all, is we can handle it. So, let's go with Drew. Can you unmute and tell us what looks different about this absolute value equation? What looks different? Here, I'll show you the last one again. There's the last one. The absolute value of negative 5n equals 20. Drew, unmute yourself, please, and tell me what looks different about this one.
So is the equal sign negative in a...
So I see, Drew, that you unmuted, but I can't hear you. All right, Drew, we'll try again maybe later sometime. Mikey, you tell me, what are you noticing looks different this time?
Well, it's different numbers.
Different numbers, that's a great observation. Here's the last one. The absolute value of negative 5n.
Oh, it's like a minus. There's a minus symbol.
Oh, we have subtraction now. How many operations are happening up in there, Mikey?
2.
2.
I mean 1.
Isn't it a 2?
No, there's 2. There's multiply and subtract. There's 2,
Easy.
right? So the point I want to make is there's a little more here, but our thinking doesn't change. No matter what happens on the inside of that absolute value, what 2 answers can this pump out? 1
And negative.
and negative. Thank you,
That's
Mikey.
a 1.
So an 8 minus 7m is 1, and an 8 minus 7m also needs to equal a negative 1. Or I should say can equal a negative 1. I'm not worried about the 2-steppers that much now. Here's the number 1 wrong move. You guys want to see the number 1 wrong move? Let's do it in red and make that E, 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 E. Kids do that. Can you guys believe it?
Are we supposed to do that?
Don't do that. That's why I made it I made it red and made that bad sound. Because what's 8 plus 8? 16. Why do you think kids do that once in a while? Because of that, right? That's not the 8. How do you get rid of 8?
That's the negative 7m.
I'm just telling you right now, kids do it every year. That negative goes with that 7m. So I'm going to kind of cruise through the solving part because that's old news for us. All right. I lost an m there. So m is 9/7 there. So m equals 1, and it also equals 9/7. Don't give me a decimal there, guys. It's just 9/7. You didn't have to do anything extra, right? Fractions are division. Set that division problem. You got your fraction. You good. All right? There's our 2 answers. M can equal 1 or it can equal 9/7. Let's check it. If I put a 1 in here, 8 minus 7 is 1. The absolute value of 1 is? Let's slap a 9/7 in here. 9/7 times 7 is 9, so that would be like a minus 9. 8 minus 9 is negative 1. The absolute value of negative 1 is 1. They both work. Money. This will be posted to YouTube later if you want to see it while you're doing your homework. Some people just miss me, so they're like, hey, can I just listen to your voice for a little bit? Make me feel better. You can do that too. It's a little creepy, but... All right. I'm going to go to another Zoomer for this one. Tanyan, tell me what looks different about this one. Because something looks different again.
First of all, you're adding something, and so you're doing way more like operations in there. But also, you're gonna have to do it's a 2-step. No, you would have to do. I have a question with this. Would
Okay.
you still use the distributive property?
There is no distributive property here, Tanyan, because the distributive property is with parentheses and multiplication, right?
Shoot, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like that you threw that out there. Add 3 here. I'm going to add 3 here per Tanyan's suggestion, and because I can, because math. And I get the absolute value of 9v minus 5 equals 86. And now, I'm not rocking anything new. Well, I mean, it's new today still, kind of, but like not new. It's like stuff we've done. And big picture before I do anything else. Absolute value of what 2 things equals 86? There's 2 different ways to get to 86 with absolute value. 86
And negative 86.
and negative 86. That's why I need my 2 equations. So 9v minus 5 can equal 86. And 9v minus 5 can also equal negative 86. Right? Now, we just got some 2-steppers. Gotta add 5. 9v equals 91. Divide everything by 9. So v is 91 ninths.
Would we make that 10 and 1 then?
You can if you want. I just leave it as 91/9 myself. I like to keep things improper, you know. Negative 9b equals negative 81. So v is negative 9. So my answers are 91/9 and negative 9. You know, I just noticed right there, talking kind of normal, is I scream a lot when I'm talking about math. That was like normal.
Yeah.
Am I just yelling on these things the whole time? Did I just notice that? No? Okay, anyway. So let's check my answers like we've been doing. And guys, are we all good understanding that this equation here is this equation? I'm going to check my answer here just because it's going to be way easier. All right, so let's try that out. I slap in 91/9. The 9s cancel out. What's 91 minus 5? And what's the absolute value of 86? Okay, 91/9 checks out. Let's put in a negative 9. 9 times negative 9 is negative 81.
Yeah.
Negative 81 minus 5 is negative 86. The absolute value of negative 86 is?
86.
It checks out. Whew. I'm glad because that was a lot of work if I was going to have to redo something, you know? I'm glad that one checked out. We got one more to try out. I'm going to have you guys try this one on your own. We've got a little absolute value of 6x plus 6 divided by 5, all equal to 3. All right, y'all, we're going to get started here. The first thing I would suggest doing is multiplying everything by 5. So that gets rid of that. And then we can focus on the absolute value of 6x plus 6 equal to 15. If anybody has any issue with that, let me know so we can handle it. But I think we should be good.
Yeah, I got that.
We got rid of the 5. I got just an absolute value to focus on now, right? Henry, what two things, what two absolute values equal 15? He says negative 15 and 15. And I agree. The absolute value of both of those things is 15. So I'm going to cruise on my two-stepper here because we should be pretty good. When you get your fractions, make sure you simplify them. Okay? We got 2 fractions this time. Let's go. I think fractions are the bomb, so. I got a 3 halves and I got a negative 7 halves. Let's check it. If I slap a 3 halves in here, the 2 and 6 cross simplify, right? And I get a 9 plus 6 is,
15.
and the absolute value of 15 is
Negative
15. Okay, let's do a negative 7 halves. The 2 and 6 cancel. I get a 3 times negative 7. It's negative 21. Negative 21 plus 6.
15.
Negative.
Well, negative
15.
15.
And the absolute value of that
Absolute
negative 15
value
is?
15.
So again, this is one of those situations. Once in a while, it happens in advanced math where there's kids that are really good at memorizing things and following steps that teachers did. And you could do that. In 6 months, you're going to be confused on what to do here if you take that approach to getting it stuck in that brain noggin of yours. However, if you take a step back, and I reference it as thinking wide, what does absolute value mean? What kind of answers can I have? If you think instead of steps, and if you focus on concept, you'll never forget how to do it. This is the first time I've done absolute value stuff
Are we
in
doing good?
like 12 years. I touched it a little bit in college, so at least 12 years, right? And I didn't have to like relearn it. Some of that's because I learned it when I was in 8th grade like you. No, you're not in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. I'm preparing a generation to be smarter than me. I don't know if that's good or bad. What do you guys
It's
think?
amazing.
That's good?
But
You're all going
you
to take
need
me
to
over
be a
someday.
good teacher.
All right. So, we're going to practice this on some Kahoot, guys.